Excuse me, what's up, tribe? This is gonna be a quick drop on Iyanla Fix My Life, season finale, Monifa. And the situation is Monifa had a daughter. She went off to pursue her career, got sidetracked by drugs, and now her and the daughter are trying, well, really her more so than the daughter, are really trying to figure out a way back to each other and really build up a relationship. Now, a couple of things I just want to come in. I don't review every single episode because I don't. But one of the last reviews I did, not the Braxtons, but the one I did before that, I think I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I remember what I was talking about, and I was talking about this current theme of abuse and what we have going on in our homes. And I'm not going to make it a black white issue, but I am going to say that all of the women that we have seen this season on Iyanla Fix My Life were black. Well, at least the episodes I watched. Let me say that, because there may have been an episode I didn't watch, because I didn't watch the last episode with the little girl. Not I say little girl, but and I do believe that it was a white woman and a black man, or vice versa. I do think it was a mixed couple in that video. So I don't know, but I'm not going to make it a black white issue. What I'm saying though is this: as long as when you see these situations, there's always a trauma connected. And one of the things that happened, and I don't know if Iyanla picked it up and it was edited out because not too much gets past her. But when Monifa was speaking, Monifa said that she was raped at 17. She got pregnant at 19. She was with the child's father at the time, but he was 19 too. So neither one of them were really ready for a family. When Monifa started speaking on when she started getting into, she said she started with alcohol and that evolved into her drug addiction, and her drug of choice was cocaine. Father died of a heroin overdose. Okay, so let's not take that out. But when she said she started drinking, she said she started drinking at 17. And I would put money, I'd bet some good money that the drinking started on or around the time of this trauma. Because again, when we look at all of these women who we've looked at this season, and we hear these horrible situations that they're in, whether it be the woman who keeps having kids and her mama taking care of her, whether it be the family that had the molestation going on in the family. Like, when we look at all of those situations, everything, all roads lead back to some sort of sexual trauma. Sexual trauma. We just have to do a better job of protecting our babies. We just do. And not every situation is like a Monifa situation. That's not something her mother could have protected her from. She was 17. She was hanging out with her friends. Her and her friends went over a dude's house. Dude pulled a gun on her. Boom. And there it was. And I think of situations. I think I've said this before. I think of situations, especially when I was in college, where we made some bad decisions. And but for the grace of God, I didn't find myself with a gun to my head. You know, we just made some really bad decisions. We were young and we were dumb, you know, and so finding yourself in a really bad, because I went somewhere else with that. Anyway, so in Monifa, so bringing it back to Monifa, so in Monifa's situation, she got pregnant at 19. And she didn't really want a child. She was going to have an abortion. She changed her mind. Whatever her reasons were for changing her mind, she did. And like Iyanla said, she said at the end of the day, you didn't want a child. Not that you don't love your daughter who is here, but the fact that at the beginning you didn't want a child. And so that really dictated a lot of how you acted. When you had opportunities with your career, you left your child with your mother and you went on about your business. Doesn't make you a heartless, callous person. It just means that you made some bad decisions that in turn have hurt your child. And so now here we are, fast forward. And I think that her daughter is a damn ready to break, because her daughter was very controlled and she was very... And even when Iyanla kind of got her to cry and break down a little bit, I think it's a whole lot more behind it. I really do. You know, she said she never really felt loved by her mother, accepted by her mother, understood by her mother, and I think a lot of it had to do with addiction, because when Monifa finally did come around and try to play mommy. She was dealing with a drug addiction. That's a whole nother set of issues. Anybody who's ever dealt with that, that's a whole nother set of issues when you're trying to deal with somebody who's dealing with drugs. You never know who you're dealing with. You never know whether they're rational or irrational, whether they high, whether they're trying to get high, whether they're coming down off of a high. So even when you had your mother, you didn't have your mother. And so with that being said, I saw this episode. I thought it was a good episode. I thought some interesting things came out. I like the exercise that she did with the money. I thought that was a really good exercise. That she had Monifa and she had her daughter, and she gave them money, like Monopoly money. And she said these were called daughter dollars. And she asked them questions. And for every question, they got money based on their answer. So, for example, she would ask Monifa, what was your favorite story that your mother read to you? And Monifa would tell her, boom, I like this. It was this story because my mother would act out the voices, da 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 da. And she would turn to Monifa's daughter and say, what's your favorite story that your mother read to you? My mother never read me a story. My grandmother read me stories. So she would give Monifa $5 of daughter bucks. Daughter wouldn't get anything. She said, okay, what was your favorite? Did your mother ever sing to you? Now, mind you, Monifa was a singer. Or is a singer, I shouldn't say was. Her daughter said, my mother never sang to me. She asked Monifa, well, did your mother ever sing to you? She said, yeah, my mother used to sing lullabies to me. Okay, here's $5 for you, $0 for you. And so when they got to the end of the exercise, baby girl, they ain't had no money. And what Monifa said was, look at all the money your mother invested in you that you did not turn around and invest in your daughter. And so now your daughter, who now has 3 children of her own, she has nothing to give her children because nothing was invested in her. I thought that was a great visual example for people to see how generations can transfer good and bad. Because when it's good, you transferring the good. But when it's bad, you also transferring the bad. So if your mother invested negative energy in you and then you got negative bucks. And all you have left to pass on is negative and negative and negative. So now we end up and we try to figure out why this child twerking on Instagram and loving every man that sent her a like, and all these things that we criticize this generation for. But I bet you if we sit down and try to figure out how many bucks they got in their bank account from their mama, bet you it's kind of low. And that's not in every situation. We know nothing is 100%. And I'm not getting ready to sit here and talk about exceptions to the rules. We know that there always are. But as an educator who deals with children every day, I can promise you that the majority of those children balance in their bank account is low. If not non-existent, if not negative. That's what I know. That's what I know. Something else that I thought was very interesting. Iyanla liked that word bitch. She do. She had an exercise where she gave the girl a bunch of words and had her make sentences out of the words. And bitch, what was it? The bitch, I'm scared of the bitch or something like that. But I'm like, why she gotta be a bitch? Why are you giving this girl permission to call her mother a bitch? Give her permission to be angry. Give her permission to use words. But to call her a bitch, I just thought that was a bit much. But Iyanla seemed to like that word. I don't know. She seemed to like it. She throw bitch around a lot. She seemed to like it. A couple of other things that came out that I thought were very good or very important was that she did make Monifa understand that it's okay to admit you didn't want a child, because admitting you didn't want a child does not automatically mean you don't love the child that is here. Saying I wasn't ready to have a child and I just could not go through with the abortion for whatever your reasons are does not mean that you don't love you don't love the daughter that is here. And it's okay to accept those two facts and that they're mutually exclusive. Secondly, she told her daughter, you have the right to be angry. You have the right. Like, it's okay to be mad and it's okay to express your anger. Because the daughter just seemed like she was bottling it all up. She would say it, but she would say it and laugh. Or she would say it with no feeling behind it. If you mad, be mad. And it's okay to be mad. It's okay to say, this woman never invested any time in me. And the third thing that she said that I thought was really good, and I'm going to end it here. She told Monifa, you may need to accept the fact that you will never have a mother-daughter relationship. You may need to accept the fact that where you all are now is that you are going to have, that you may, I don't want to misword her, but what she was saying was basically, you may not ever be able to be mommy daughter, because that ship may have sailed, because y'all are both adults now. She has her own children, but what y'all can be is learn to be really good friends. Learn to be really good friends. And I think I'm okay with that, because I think sometimes, especially in broken families and in broken relationships, we keep trying to capture mommy daughter, father son, when that ship just may have sailed because of whatever reason, whether it be age, whether it just be experience. But this young lady has 3 children of her own, and she's had her own life experiences. Y'all need to get to know who y'all are now as adults and where y'all are, and respect each other's journey and respect each other's space and who you all are as adults. Then maybe it can evolve into a mommy daughter thing. But you can't just show up at 45. Because if she had her daughter when she was 19, I ain't about to do the math, but this girl is, she got a baby face though. But this girl is well into her 30s, right? Yeah. She over 20 shit. Clearly I'm not a math teacher. But yeah, so I just thought it was I thought it was a good episode. It didn't knock my socks off, but I thought it was a good episode. I thought that, like I said, some of the exercises I thought were really good, but some of what she said I just thought was really valid. But once again, I just see this constant pattern of trauma and abuse when we see these adults who have now screwed up relationships, basic relationships in their life, whether it be with a husband or a boyfriend, whether it be with a child, whether it be with a parent. The common thread is some sort of sexual abuse. And I'm not saying I have the answer. I'm just saying I'm finding the connections. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Peace.